Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the Big Brother Weekend Review, Week 9. We just, not as we get closer and closer to the end, not much happens each and every week. So these games get shorter and shorter, but we can't go out without talking about what happened last Thursday on the triple eviction. What a thing. So we start and it's Julie plays it off as if it's a just a double eviction, and Kevin and David are on the block. They ultimately send Kevin home, and then they do the HOH, which Memphis wins, and and then Memphis nominates Nicole and David. And then they go to the head of household, which ultimately Christmas wins. And the power of veto, excuse me, which ultimately Christmas wins. And then Christmas goes ahead and then Christmas does not use the power of veto. Nicole and David stay on the block. And then here's where the good stuff comes in, right? Because then once they go to commercial, they come back from commercial. They've got triple eviction running on the background of the screen, like on the walls in the background, in the back of Julie. So they come back with Julie on the screen saying, "House guests," and everybody in the room. And Christmas, I believe, is the first one to seize it. She says, "Oh my God, it's a triple eviction." Everybody comes in, and then you see everybody sees it, and they can't believe it, and Cody, and Cody sees it, and Cody's it's just what a blunder by the production crew, not to do a regular one, right? And it was just incredible. So they go ahead and we saw this on the other episode on Monday episode after the football game. We saw that during that period, Tyler and Christmas was trying to get Enzo to go ahead and turn his and vote out Nicole. He wanted to keep David in the house, which I don't understand why. See, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm really not. I'm not a big fan of keeping somebody. At least when you get down to that front, keeping somebody in the house, you know, who doesn't deserve to win, because and see, this is just me, and this is just me. But I think a lot of people should have this. The one thing I hate as a fan is when somebody who doesn't deserve to win wins. When somebody who doesn't deserve to win wins, and that's what upsets me. It upsets me, you know, really really bad. And yeah. And so to have David to have David even sniff close to that stuff would have been awful. So there's no need for David to have gone to have stayed any longer. So yeah, but anyway, but they were trying to get Endo didn't take it. Tyler and Christmas they voted for Nicole. Enzo voted for David because he said that would have hurt Cody, his closest person. So he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that to Nicole. They stayed. They voted out David. David was the second to go. Then they came. Uh, Julie Chen came back on and announced that it was a triple eviction. So they were going to do another head of household competition. That one was won by Tyler. He won that one, and then he put up Nicole and Danny, and then they went to the head household the bar veto competition, which Tyler won that as well. Um, and then Danny tried to get some shots in at Christmas and everybody like that, but she just And that's what's up with Danny. That's the thing. That's always been Danny's MO. When things then never go Danny's way, Danny wants to bitch and complain. And she wants to, now she gets put on the block. She wants to now, bitch and complain. You on the block? What you got? Say your stuff when you're not on the block. Now you on the block. Now you going home. Now you scared. You know. So I get your chump ass out here, Danny. And she needed to go. I'm glad she went 4-0 out the door. Bam. So and so those were the three that went. And I said that Danny and Christmas they were on the edge of being put, like, they were ones that could be going next. And it was because I actually didn't think that they would take out David. I didn't know, but they did. They took out David, so that's fine. So, and then we now leave to the final. We went from final 9 to final 6 in one night. Nicole, Christmas, Tyler, Memphis, Cody, and Enzo. And they did an HOH competition. We saw on TV and stuff. Cody won that one. Cody nominated Memphis and Tyler. Cody also won the power of veto. He did not use it, so Tyler or Christmas will go tonight. And here's what I will say. Here's what I would say about that. As I look at it from the final 6 competitors, right? There's ranked the people who, I think, from worst to from worst to best, right? Who'd be the worst winner? Who'd be the best winner? I think number 6 would be Nicole. She's won nothing. She's done nothing. She had this little thing with Devon when she fooled her with the thing, but that was neither here nor there. I mean, to me, it's an okay game move, but it's not the game move that brings you to the to the thing. It's not to move you to win $500,000. That's not a $500,000 move. It just isn't. And so I don't see that anyway. Number 5 would be Christmas. She would be next. And even though she won her household, she won 2 power vetoes, and she won the one of those first competitions for the thing. The other people have just been playing better. And I think also that she has uh, she has I don't think she could. I think the only person she probably could beat would be Nicole on the jury. Um, because in a jury vote, because I think there could be some bitter players, and also could be that maybe she just didn't necessarily play the game. Because one thing she keeps saying that she wants to do what the HOH is doing. So she's playing someone else's game. She's not playing her game. And if her game is playing the HOH game, that's not a winning strategy. So I think Christmas is 5th. I think 4th is Tyler. I think if Tyler were to survive tonight, and there has been some talk over the last 24, 36 hours, there was some talking that, hey, we could, that they could vote out Christmas and keep Tyler instead of Christmas, but maybe that's a better situation because they didn't know how close she was with Memphis or anything like that. And then Memphis has got that 2 sets of wise guys where he's got Memphis Enzo and Cody, and then Memphis Enzo and Christmas, so they could want to take that out. Um, but but again, I think Tyler again. I think Tyler once again. It depends on who. I think Tyler can only beat Christmas. Because I think as we saw in Danny's expose, I think Danny and Devon will try to poison that, the jury against Tyler, whoever he was sitting with, unless he was sitting next to Christmas. Unless he's sitting next to Christmas, and they can try to do the vote for a girl thing, but there's only 3 girls on the thing, so that they'll be on the jury, and that wouldn't work. So yeah. So I think even though Tyler's been giving up the information in his things to the people who didn't know, to Ian and the thing and Kevin, to let them know that, hey, we've had this big alliance. He's trying to learn from his last season. Um, it didn't necessarily it's not look like it could still work for him, because I think um, Danny and Davon could try to poison the jury on against Tyler for trying to leave and trying to quit, and they could say that is that's unhealthy, and that's or whatever. So it's not good sportsmanship. Yada yada yada. Um, so they could try to put that on Tyler. So number 3, I think, is Enzo. Enzo hasn't been nominated for eviction. He has not seen the block, and he's done that by only winning 2 things, on HOH and on Power Veto. Really hasn't won anything else. Some people, I think, some people will look at not taking out Nicole as um, yeah. Well, I don't know how the jury members would look at that. I think maybe possibly. I think maybe there could be a couple of jury members that would look at that as saying, well, he just once again he was doing what Cody was wanting to do, right? He was doing what Cody was wanting to do, but they could also see him see that as, if he turns on Cody, then he knows Cody's gonna turn on him. Cody could turn on him because Cody's with Cole. So there's a lot of things that I think Enzo has done, but again, with only winning 2 things, I think it's made Enzo um kind of unnerving there. That's kind of made Enzo unnerving there. So I think that's that one. And then I think number 2 is Memphis. Memphis done some good winning. He's won 3 head of households. He's won a veto, power veto, maybe even 2 power vetoes. He has and he's really laid under the radar. No one really, and even like after that second week when he was, when he had really kind of turned everybody off, and with how he talked to David and everything like that, at that table, saying you're a rookie and now this is what you need to do, and yada yada yada. You know, what's his face? Tyler was mad at him, and other people they didn't necessarily like him, but they never like tried to take him out. They never did. They stayed with the committee. They never got a chance. 'Cause there could have been many of chances where they said, "Oh, listen, but once Memphis got off of HOH, he stayed under the radar. He stayed under the radar, and he did a great job, fooling Janelle and Kesar into thinking that he was a lone wolf, and fooling many others into thinking he was a lone wolf as well. Memphis did a great job. Memphis has not been nominated for eviction as well. Can you believe it? We are 3 we are let's see, eighth. We are 4 weeks away from or 3 weeks away, right? Yeah, we are 3 weeks away from the finale, and here we are. We have three people who have not seen the block, and and depending on the right person, right? Again, if some it still can. If Memphis could easily put up Christmas and Nicole, put up Christmas and Nicole, meaning that once again, any of those three guys would not have seen the block again. It is amazing. It is truly amazing. Without a question. And then number one is Cody. Listen, Cody has just been fantastic this whole game. It has started. Maybe it has even started from the pregame, right? The pregame where apparently him and what's her face and Nicole and maybe even Danny and all of them got together before the season started and said we're gonna work together. But even before then, it's been incredible to see what this guy has done. He has learned from Derek, and he has really, you know, done exactly what Derek would do, and it's been amazing. It's amazing how he's been able to want people like Christmas to do the things that not to do, and things like Enzo to get have people like Enzo be so loyal to him. Nicole and Danny be so loyal to Cody that they never even looked at him as the threat. You know, right? And even when Kaser has called him out, and listen, it's Nicole, it's Danny, and it's Cody. No one really even thought. You know, now to be honest, they couldn't do nothing about it because the committee smoke showed them. But it has just been fantastic what Cody has done. I believe Cody has won 4 HOHs. He has won 3 power vetoes. Um, he has just been an epic competitor this season, and it's not over yet. I don't expect him. I don't expect him to go on the block this week. I don't. Because maybe only Christmas. If Christmas stays, I think Christmas could win. If Christmas stays, I think Christmas would really put him on the block as revenge. But I don't think Tyler would. I think Tyler would probably go after Nicole in Memphis. You know, or Nicole and Enzo, one of the two. So I think he's safe with 4 people from hitting the block, and I don't even think if there's a thing he's gonna hit the block. I don't think if there's a power veto that is used by one of the competitors, I don't think he's gonna hit the block. So you know Cody right now has played the best game. Cody is the one that deserves to win the $500,000, and right now, and it would be a shame right now if he did not get there. But again, Memphis has played a really good game, and Enzo is right. He's kind of falling behind him, but he's in third place. So that's the way I see it right now. Yeah, and it is it has been an interesting game to watch from here on out. I think like many others, I think there are many people who are not watching the live streams, myself included. Um, Most people are not watching the live streams because they think it's boring. Because the committee has ransacked. There is nobody, really going through this. Even with this, Tyler really isn't, Tyler and Christmas hasn't really been, bullshitting or anything like that. Because, they know what they've had to do, right? So that's when you get down to that final six. That's what happens. It becomes all about respect. So so a lot of people are not watching for that. I'm not watching because it's almost like no reason to. I keep up with the updates. There should not be no fighting. There should not be no drama. You pretty much know who wins HOH. who goes on the block, who wins fire and veto, and things like that. So nothing gets gets really too interesting on the live feeds as we get down along. And it's been like that for I've had the live feeds since season 19, and it's been like that for the most part. As you get closer and closer to the end, the live feeds doesn't get any. The live feeds are best when it is, when it's 16 people, and when it gets down to about um, eight. Eight. Once it gets down to about eight, that's when it starts. And we just had this thing where we've had nine, right, and then we went from 9 to 6, so we didn't go to eight. But when it gets down to eight, that is when things starts to change. Um, and you start to see there are still things that could happen. There's still things that still could be fights, things like that, like we saw last year with Tommy and Christy, and Tommy seemingly turning his back on Christy. You know, um, but it is, but then they having a reconstruction, and there still could be people to root for like Tommy and Christy last year, but for the most part, as we start to get down past eight, it becomes a little bit more and more easier to see. Where you're not in fear of missing anything special. As you're not in fear of missing anything special, and I think that's totally. I think that's fine. I think that's totally okay. I have no problem with it. So yeah. So we'll find out tonight who goes Tyler Christmas. We'll find out who's HOH probably, and then we'll be back here next week for a we're back here next year to see who's a Final Four, and then we'll have to wait and see. I will see. I'll see um, about because we will be here for week 10, and then um, I'll see like where am I at. Um, will I be, because last season I did a live stream. I did a live stream last season where I live streamed. I watched the finale live here on YouTube, and so we'll wait and see how I want to do that. I can do one of three ways. I can either do a live stream while I'm live watching it, right? I can do a live stream afterwards, my trademark rapid reaction. You know, that's number two. Or I could do a thing in the morning talking about the next Thursday, talking about what happened on the show, on the season finale. So I will wait and see. But there will be there's two more shows. There's a week 10 show for tomorrow, next week I should say, as we jump from 5 to 4, and then there'll be a season finale of the Big Brother Weekend Review season 22. So yeah. And we'll wait and see. I will. I'll probably do that. I will probably give you an update. I will give you an update tomorrow. Not tomorrow. But tomorrow. I'll give you an update next Thursday so that you know what is out. By then, I will have made a decision on what I'm going to do for the season finale. So, you guys make sure you be here. Always make sure you click the notification bell to know when I go live, when I put out a video, and anything like that. All right. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought about this week. Let me know, do you agree with my list of who should win in order? Once again, Nicole, Christmas, Tyler, Enzo, Memphis, Cody, from 6 to 1. Let me know down in the comment section. It's your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. No, no, no.